Okay, I have the sound on. Can you hear me, or is it? Hang on here. Wait.
I could see the caption. Okay.
Okay. All right. I turned my closed captioning on, so I wanted to see if it was going to pick me up. Okay, but I'm going to shut it off, or I'm going to be reading it. But that doesn't shut you off, right? Okay. All right. So tonight's topic is goals. I was on a call for on one of Scotty Hobbs' Zoom calls, and he did a topic, and I don't know if it was necessarily goals, but I'm not going to copy what he did, but he came up with 10 questions that I thought was a good way to find out what your goals are and how to achieve them. And so what he did is he listed off the 10 questions, gave examples of each one. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. Obviously, I'm going to use my own examples because I'm not Scotty Hobbs. And I just mentioned his name because I don't want anybody to think I came up with these beautiful questions. This is all his questions. So getting on to it, we all have goals, and I'm going to be reading from my notes a lot here. We all have goals. And to get to those goals, we have to know what our goals are, and how we have to know what our goals are and how to get to them. And then once we know that, we have to know why we're not getting to them. So here are 10 questions that I think will help us get there. So this would probably be good for you to write down or go back and write it down later, whatever. I don't know, whichever you're comfortable doing. If you want to write it down now, or write it down when you can pause it, and because that's what I did, is I went back and paused everything. So the first question is, what is holding you back and why? So we were actually talking about this, you and me, we were talking about this in one of our chats. And so for me, what is holding me back is basically feeling like a fraud. You know, like here I am supposed to be, you know, a fitness coach. I'm supposed to be a trainer. I'm supposed to be teaching you about nutrition, exercise. But you look at me, I'm fat, okay? Just put it like that. I'm fat, so I feel like a fraud because what the hell do I know about nutrition? What do I know about fitness, and what can I teach you? So that's what holds me back, okay? So your question number 2 is, what are your greatest fears and why? Well, I came up with a total different answer when I listened to Scotty do this. I gave an answer, and then today when I was preparing for this, I came up with a different answer. The answer I came up with today is a more honest one, and that's, if I try, if I give my all, my best to do this business, if I throw out 100 invites a day and nobody signs up and I fail, that just reinforces the fact that I'm a fraud, which then proves that I'm a failure. Okay, so that's one of my biggest fears. Now, what motivates you to succeed and evolve as a person? So this one is a tough one. I had a hard time coming up with an answer for this one, and I still do, or I still can't quite grasp what motivates me to succeed. But just today, when I was talking to two women who were showing interest in joining up and signing up for the new program and becoming coaches, I found myself getting excited. And it wasn't because, oh, I'm going to make some money or I'm going to go up in rank. It was, I'm going to be able to help them. I'm going to be able to introduce them to this program, which is going to change their lives. So I think that is what's going to start motivating me to succeed, is the more people I can help. And the more people I can help, the more I'm going to succeed. And the more I succeed, the more I want to help people. The next question is, what are the 3 most important things you've learned about yourself? Well, I came up with 2. I probably could come up with a heck of a lot more, but the 2 that jumped to my mind right away when I answered these questions is I procrastinate a lot. I mean, I told you guys last week that I wanted to do this call. I started working on it this afternoon. So, and I do that with everything. I did that in school with homework. It was Sunday night or the day before that I actually started working on stuff. I do that at work. Don't tell my boss. I do that at work. The other thing that I've learned about myself, and I've known this for a long time, is I talked very poorly about myself in my head. I say, and we probably all are like that to a certain degree, is I say some pretty awful things to myself that I probably wouldn't put up with if anybody else said. Okay, question number 5 is, what lies do you continue to tell yourself? Okay, you're not going to like this lie. This lie has started from day 1 since I became a coach. And that is, I'm all alone in doing this. I have nobody else to help. Now, obviously, that's a lie, because without the 4 of you, we teamed up. I know you and me, we've been talking for for quite a while now. But when the four of us teamed up to do this cup, it has lit a fire under me, and it's getting more. The fire is getting more and more and more. I think if we never signed up for that cup, or if I've never met you, I would still be back where I was a year ago and blaming my upline coach for quitting and blaming her upline coach for quitting. And instead of doing the work, I just would have kept blaming everybody else. So that's one of the lies that I keep telling myself. Number 6, what do you do to continue to limit your success? So I know and I feel that where I limit myself the most is with those darn meal plans. I don't follow them. And quite frankly, today I just canceled my that subscription for the meal. I haven't looked at it. I haven't went into those groups in 2 months. I keep telling myself that I am much better than what I used to be. And you'll hear an example of that in a couple of questions coming up. But yeah, but that is probably what limits my success the most. Now, you could almost question what success really means to you, like, so, but that's going on a different topic here. Okay, question number 7. What are you most passionate about in life? Okay, this was another hard one for me because I hate showing emotion unless I'm salty. It just, I like to just go with the flow and whatever. But that's not a good enough answer. That's not going to help me figure anything out in life, just going with the flow. So I had to really think about it. I do love my job. I get to work with adults with disabilities, and I get to help them in their daily stuff. And well, right now my current building is shut down, so my regular people that I work with aren't there. And I also quite literally love helping with special O bowling. Again, that is shut down. But I've always said coaching special O bowling is my happy place. And then, of course, I'm quite passionate about running. Okay. Question number 8 is, what is your vision of your life? And for me, I think that I want my money problems gone. I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I want it so that Chris can be able to go to Costco and buy stuff without even thinking about how much the bill is and if she can afford it and that. So right now, my short-term vision of my life is just to be able to afford to buy groceries without worrying about the money. Question number 9 is, what limiting beliefs and stories do you still hang on to? Okay. This one, I'm going to tell what I wrote down at the Super Saturday that we went to. And some of my kids are in the room and they're going to hear this. But that's okay. Because I don't believe this anymore. But back then and up until recently, I questioned whether or not I figured I was such a bad person and such a bad father that I questioned whether or not my kids even loved me. And I mean, that's just not true. Okay, question number 10. What does success mean to you, and what does failure mean to you? This one, I never did put an answer down. Success right now, just going off the top of my head here, I think right now the success for me is to get rid of these negative thoughts that keep popping into my head. And to finally actually start doing the work, which I have been. I in the last, with these promo codes, I think I've sent out up to about 50 invites, which I've been following other coaches, and I know they do that in a day. But the amount of invites that I sent for these this promo code, the last promo codes that I had access to, I sent out 0 invites. So I take that as a success. And plus, I actually got to talk to 2 women who were very interested in using them. They still haven't got back to me. One lives in England, and they're, I think, 6 or 8 hours ahead of us. So she's probably asleep by now. The other one, well, she lives here in Manitoba. So I don't know. There's still time, but but just the fact that I was able to talk to people, to me, that's a success. And failure right now is if I just stop. Right now, that's the only way I can fail right now, is if I just completely stop coaching this and completely stop working out. So either way, as long as I keep plugging ahead, I'm going to get there. So and I just had a few things I just wanted to mention here. I believe that we really need to find the answers to these questions. And we need to understand what the answers mean. And because when you're making a post and you have all these negative thoughts in your head, that comes out on your post. That comes out on your stories. And just like I watched your reel today, your excitement came through that story, you know. So if I was to put in a reel and I was mad about whatever, I really think that would come across on the reel, no matter how happy I was trying to seem. That's about it. That's all I have. So I went through that pretty good, I think. So I don't know, did you have any questions or? Thank you. Yeah, they really do make you think differently, and like I said before, I came up with different answers to each question. Hang on here, I didn't see your question. What did I find the most interesting to learn doing these questions? I think just the fact that how quickly my answers changed. Not saying that the first ones were wrong, but I think the second ones were a little bit more on it, not honest, but a little bit more honest and a little bit more in depth, like a little deeper. And really, you know, if we hang on to these questions and in a year's time, every one of those question answers should be different, because we should all evolve, or we should all grow in that year's time. So, oh, no, I don't want to leave meeting. Hang on. Hang on. I don't know what happened there. Clicked the wrong button. There we go. Almost left the meeting. Didn't want to do that. Okay. Okay, so that is all I have. Did you have anything you want to add, or? What is your advice to anyone who is doing these questions to learn about themselves? Take a deep breath, sit and think for a few minutes, and don't be scared to write down your answer, no matter how bad you think it is. Okay, thank you. Hey. All right, so. Yeah, I know that sign, yeah. Okay, I think we wrap it up, and we'll get what's her name to do next week's call. Yeah. Okay.